right, here we got Basics Quiz X. So if you want to do the retake, all right, it's for you. Or if you're one of my homebound kids who hasn't taken the quiz yet, students are divided into groups based on GPA. Students are then randomly pulled from each group to form a study. What sampling technique is being used? So we divide into groups, and then I pulled randomly from each group. That is going to be stratified all day long. That's what stratified is. One group of plants are watered with Gatorade, and the other receive normal tap water. What type of study is being done? That is an experiment. Which of the following sampling techniques are often biased? That is going to be self-selected when you volunteer and being lazy or convenience. Miss Julie computes the mean GPA of a DHS junior to be 2.3. A sample of a junior class revealed a GPA of 1.8. The mean GPA of a junior is a parameter. Yeah, because this guy would be a statistic. I should probably word that a little better. That is a parameter. All right, 22. A Nashville radio station polled listeners about an upcoming bill to increase property taxes. Identify the sample and population. The sample is going to be the people listening to the radio. Those two have this. Actually, three of those have the sample right. Not choice D. Since we're talking about an upcoming bill to increase property taxes, that only applies to people living in Nashville. So the population is the residents of Nashville. Which of the following is an example of a quantitative? Quantitative means countable. All right. It's going to be a student's IQ. It's a number. This is actually going to be a statistic or a parameter. Proportion of students with heights above 5'6". That's a statistic. Or a parameter if it's about population. All right, 20. Solve 4 times the base of 3 with an exponent of x minus 3 plus 6 equals 30. Write your answer in perfect form. I wrote perfect from, and as a decimal round the nearest 10,000th. So we're going to take away our 6, and we're going to get 24. 4 times the base of 3 with an exponent of x minus 3 is now 24. We're going to divide out the 4. We're not going to do something stupid like 4 times 3, which some of y'all like to do because you just cheat on AI. That's what you do. You just cheat on AI, and you complain about not knowing things. And I have isolated the base. And now for the 100th time this year that I have shown you juniors, we have a base, we have an exponent, and we have an argument. We have a log whose base is 3, our argument is 6, and she equals x minus 3. To do perfect form, all you got to do is isolate the x. A log base 3 argument 6 plus 3 is x. To get the decimal, go push buttons in your TI-84 using change of base. I'm an ln guy. All right, so I'm going to do ln6, sitting pretty over ln3. Whoops, I typed that wrong. ln6, sitting pretty over ln3, and then add 3. And I'm going to get about 4.6309. All right, moving backwards again. Find the average rate of change for f of x shown below on the interval from -1 to 2. And like, bruh, this is just slope. Slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is not a high school math standard. It goes back to 6th and 7th grades, man. 9, take away a -6. Sitting pretty over 2, take away a -1. 9 take away a -6 is 15. 2 take away a -1 is 3. 15 over 3 is 5. There's your average rate of change. 18. You are supposed to, first off, write these using change of base so that you can push the buttons in your calculator. So that's a natural log of 2x minus 6, sitting pretty over the natural log of 3, and then take away 4. This guy is the ln of 4x plus 9, sitting pretty over the natural log of 4, and then take away 6. And now I'm going to go push some buttons in my TI-84. That's what I'm going to do. Let's see here. 3. I got ln 2x minus 6. She is sitting pretty over the natural log of 3. You can use the log key too, and nothing wrong with it. Take away 4 on that one. The other guy is ln of 4x plus a 9. She is sitting over the natural log of 4. And then I take away 6. And then I do a zoom 6, because that's what you were taught to do. And then you wait. The calculators you guys use are faster than this one. This one's called an emulator. It emulates a TI-84. It is not a TI-84. Second trace 5 for the intersection. I'm just going to press that right button until I see my cursor show up. And once she shows up, I'm going to press enter 3 whole times. Once, twice, thrice. There you go. It's 3.6834. 3.6. I done forgot what I said. 3.6834. I think I actually need to go to the eye doctor. My vision has been decreasing lately. All right, moving on backward to 17. Completely simplify this thing. So this is a fourth root, and I wasn't trying to trick anybody here, but 243 to the 1/4. Ooh, I need to fix that. Glad I caught that. That sucks that I made 68 copies. That needs to be a 5. So, that needs to be a 5. It sure does. Sucks I made 68 copies already. But anyways, 243 to the 1/5 is a 3. And so this answer is going to have a 3. Glad I'm doing the video. 5 enters 17. I'm not going to change anything else. 5 enters 17 3 times, so I'm going to have x cubed outside. Think about that. 5 goes into 17 3 times with a remainder of 2. Inside my fifth root, there's still going to be an x squared. 5 enters 20 4 times. 5 times 4 is 20, so there's no remainder. I just need to fix that. I'm glad I caught that. Moving on to 16. Completely simplify the expression 40e to the negative 4th, x to the negative 23rd, sitting pretty over 15, e to the 7th, x to the 12th. So 40 and 15 are both divisible by 5, right? That's, well, I say right, like you understand. You may not. That's 8 over 3. 40 divided by 5 is 8, kids. I swear to God it is. 15 divided by 5 is 3, children. You take a look at e to the negative 4th over e to the 7th. We shift the e to the 4th down low, and we get an e to the 11th down low. You take a look at x to the negative 23rd, sitting pretty over x to the 12th. We do the same thing. We shift that x to the 23rd down low. We add exponents. 12 plus 23 is 35. A lot of you guys think you know what you're doing, but you don't know what you're doing. You need to start doing it the way you're shown to do it instead of the way you want to do it. You play this, I don't understand. It's not about understanding. It's about this is how you do it. So this is do it this way. Show the correct setup. To find the first term, plug a 3 in. R always has an exponent. So this is R. And if I need this sequence or series starts at 3, so I need the third term. I'm going to say it's negative 3 times negative 1/2 to the third power. Of course, I'm old school, kids. This is going to be negative 3 times a negative 3/8. Sorry, a negative 1/8. Thinking ahead. Because 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And a negative times negative times negative is still negative. And I end up getting 3/8 to be the first term. So now I'm going to go over here. 1 minus the ratio, which is a negative 1/2. Make sure you're using parentheses. N is always high minus low. Add 1 back. Use your fingers. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7 fingers. 9 minus 3 is 6. Add 1 back. You get 7. So that guy is to the 7th power. And it's sitting pretty over 1 minus a negative 1/2. And then you go push the buttons in a calculator. Right? What do we have here? We have a 3/8. That's the first term we care about. Math, num, n over d. 1 minus, the parentheses are a big deal. A negative 1 over 2. Rooftopped to the 7th power. And that's sitting pretty over. If you don't know what 1 minus negative 1/2 is, you know, I'm not going to judge you. Well, I actually am going to judge you, but the TI-84 ain't going to judge you. You don't have to close your parentheses, but if you like it, go ahead. You get this funky decimal, math, enter, enter. There she is, 129 over 512. 13, going to be kids who leave it blank. Thankfully, I'm doing this before I grade instead of after, otherwise I'd be ticked off. The forms are literally right here. The explicit rule is the first term of 3 plus the ratio, which is always the second dude over the first dude. So that's going to be a -2/3. I don't know why I wrote plus, not plus, it's times. I was thinking about arithmetic, apparently. A -2/3 to the n minus 1. Then you have the explicit rule, which I've got to fix that too, wasn't given to you quite right, is the first term of 3 if n is 1, or it's -2/3 of a sub n minus 1 if n is bigger than 1. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, I expect on number 12 that 90% of my students who do this are going to write the 2nd through 12th terms. But the second term is an 11, the third term is a 20, and we're adding 9, 29, 38, 47, 56. If you haven't noticed, we're just decreasing by 1. I don't know. 65, 74, I'm at 83. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. Okay, cool. 92, 101. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, no, this is 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's all of it. And then you do some adding, you get 616. Given 3 terms of the sequence, -3, 12, 27, write a rule. It's legit right there. The nth term must be the first term of -3 plus the difference. I'll put the d over here, which is 15, kids. We add 15 to -3 to become a 12 times n minus 1. And then we do the old distributive property. We get 15n minus 15. Still got -3 out front. And if we put a -3 and a -15 together, we get a -18. Choice C. Use index division to factor this polynomial. Okay, you're told that x is -2. That's the -2 there. That means you have a factor of x plus 2. Gone, gone. You see how you just made it 50-50? What you did. Coefficients are 2, -9, -6, and 40. And then we hit it with DMA. -2 times 2 is -4. -9 plus -4 is -13. -2 times -13 is 26. -6 plus 26 is 20. -2 times 20 is -40. Remainder 0. Remainder, constant, x squared. Can you factor like a freshman? That's the big question. The answer to that is probably no. Factors of 20 are 4 and 5. Position matters. Let's see, we want -4, -5, because the outside makes -8, the inside makes -5, and together they make -13x. So, choice C she is. Which of the following are equivalent to the fourth root of 2,401? That's the important one, because that's the one, once you catch it, you can go to your TI-84 and you can say what it is. And it was 7. The square root of 49 is also 7. Cubic root of 343, watch this, bro. 343, rooftop, 1/3. 7. Number 8, solve using the quadratic formula. Oh my God, a number of y'all that leave these things blank. What is wrong with you? Like, it's not algebra 2, it's algebra 1. How do you not know the quadratic formula? Bruh. Because x equals -b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So anyways, opposite of a -10 is a +10, plus or minus the square root of a -10 that I must square, so I must use parentheses, minus 4 times a, which is 4 times c, which is -3. And it's all sitting pretty over twice a 4. My pen got a little off, sorry about that. Of course, I like to do things by hand, but you guys, you do this. I don't know why you do that. I don't even like showing it, but I have to show this, otherwise you may not realize that this is what you do. I done a mistake here, 4ac. Oh, that's just a... Oh, no, I haven't. Okay. So I got a root 148. 10 plus or minus root 148. Both pieces sitting over an 8. 148 is likely divisible by 4, and possibly something bigger. It is. It's 4 times 37. Root 4 is 2. Do some reducing. That's 5 over 4. Plus or minus. If we think about 2 root 37 sitting over 8, that's root 37 over 4. We keep working. Get into the easy stuff now. Determine the average rate of change from x equals 1 to x equals 7. So think about this as the ordered pair 1, 10, and think about this as the ordered pair 7, negative 9. And you just do slope. y2 minus y1, sitting pretty over x2 minus x1. So negative 9 minus 10, sitting pretty over 7 minus 1. And you get negative 19 over 6. Solve for natural log is 5x plus 4 equals 20. Divide out the 4. By the way, natural log has an understood base of e. 20 divided by 4 is 5. Base, argument, exponent. E to the 5th is 5x plus 4. We're going to subtract 4. Now we're equal to 5x. We're going to divide by 5, and we're just going to be happy with what we get. We're not going to go push buttons in a calculator. And there she is. 5's been the same as it was for 2 quizzes and 2 twins now. That is a factor. I enter evenly. The remainder when dividing is 0, and x equals c is a 0. Well, I'm low on time. Solve the factored polynomial. X minus 1 is a 0. 3x minus 5 is a 0. So I add 5 and divide by 3, 5/3. This one I'll do a little more math. I divide by 5, I add 45 to both sides first. I divide by 5 and I get 9. Don't forget your plus or minus, whichever half of you do. Negative 3, positive 3. Number 1, base, argument, exponent. 3 squared is 5x minus 8. 3 squared is 9. 9 plus 8 is 5x. 17 is 5x. X is 17/5. Number 2, express this using power over root notation. You got to think about all the stuff inside having an exponent of 1. That's your power. The root is a 5. Easy peasy. I need to know that. Do number 3. I take 5x squared minus 2. I raise it to the first and I divide it by 6. y2 is just 2. Then I go push buttons on my wonderful TI-84. Go to y equal. Some of you guys probably watch the videos and like, man, it took him 20 minutes. How do you expect me to do this in 48? Because if I ain't sitting here narrating what I'm doing and I'm just doing it, it's like a 5-10 minute quiz. It's not that hard. Anyways, I typed in y1, y2. I did a zoom 6, which I have trained you to do. I've also trained you that solutions happen where graphs cross paths. This thing also has perfect symmetry, so I'm only going to use second trace 5 once. It has symmetry. Get close, press enter 3 times. Fourth decimals, I've asked you to round, 3.6332. And the other guy was negative. There you go. There's the quiz y'all took. If you don't like your grade, do the retake. Keep telling you that.